Opponent's been stacking the line to stop Carey.
Well, he has a lot of times. It's back to that old run pass option I've been talking to you about. They're doing a lot of that, and he's such a good runner that once he gets there, he can pump fake it and take off. So he does a lot of that. Where other quarterbacks would throw it for a pass or a 5-yard gain or a 10-yard gain, and he'll take it and run 30. And then I think that's also why he hasn't had quite as many turnovers. So I think that might be part of the process. If we don't turn it over with what we're doing, hopefully, we can make it throw some incompletions and stop Kadeem Carey.
Did you take any peek at last year's Colorado-Arizona tape?
Yes, I did. I watched last year's Colorado game, and Kadeem Carey looked just like he's looked about against every other team I've watched. And he's. I think they gave it to him 40 times against Utah the other night. And he's a beast in the ball carrier. He really is.
After watching the film, what was your take on Sefo?
I thought Sefo played well. His first play of the game, he needs to follow through and get there. He's probably a little bit nervous, trying to get a good, easy throw for him. And then he made some better throws than that later on, which was good. I was good to see him come back and do that. I thought he did some really good things, had some good reads, some things to learn from. And always when you play your first game and you go into your first start, it's a little bit tougher. And I think then as you watch it on tape and then you know that Coach Lehman's telling you certain things, I really better be on my P's and Q's, because when it happens in the game, it really makes a big difference. So that's part of the experience of playing.
Did you ever consider a game plan just because you knew you could run the ball against Charleston Southern, or because that was his first start?
No, we had a lot of plans doing it. Once we got to running it, we wanted to run it better, and that was good. We need to be able to do that. That takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback. You hear that on Monday Night Football. You hear that everywhere. If you can run it, it relieves. It makes that guy relax, and he can start making more plays if he's not having to drop back every snap, especially when you're young. So, but I thought that was good to compliment it for sure.
Do you feel like you've settled into Atkins and Powell being your two guys?
Yeah, they'll be our 1-2 guys, and then Tony. If we had more plays, they kept the ball a couple times on us, but limited some of our play count. We had some more things for Tony to do. Tony will be in the mix also, but the bulk of the mix right now, unless one of them gets nicked up, which happens at running back, would be Mike and Christian. But Tony's definitely in the mix in there. We have some things for Tony to do also.
How have you been with your rush defense this year?
Well, I think that we've improved in that area. I really do, in our rush defense, and we need to keep improving in that area. It's all about run fits. It's all about knowing how to fit it. It's all about containing your gap. Seeing the backfield sets pre-snap is really a big deal, and so I thought that Addison's done a good job of that, being a freshman. And I think Woodson Greer's getting better and better at fitting that, and our D-line's getting better at knowing when they got to, secure the blocks and the different things that we're doing. That's going to be critical this week. If you get cut out of your gap this week, you're in trouble. And that's what they do. They spread you out, and if they can get you cut out of the gap, he creases it, and then he runs through an arm tackle, and then he's on a safety in midfield. And not many safeties tackling the first time. That's just the way it is.
Talk about the development of Atkins and what your take is.
Well, we felt like Michael was good all along when he first got here. We saw his explosiveness and his speed, and I had watched him since he was a sophomore. We had a bunch of guys that played at San Jose State from his high school team, and so we were really excited about him. We just wanted to bring him along, and one thing that helped Michael was the flood. Truly, he got more practice time, and he was ready to go. That helped him get ready. He had a really good time in that off week. Those couple off weeks there, it got better and better, and we felt like it was time to play him. And then, he's done well. He's just got to keep doing well.
When you watch the film, how close is Severson going to be to breaking?
Oh, he's been really close a couple times, and I think he'll break one. He's a 700 meter kid that broke. I think he ran back 9 or 10 in high school. He had over 2,000 yards rushing last year in high school, and they had a pretty good backfield at his backfield. They had him, Byron, that plays for Oregon, and the starting tailback now for San Jose State. They all three were in the backfield at the same time. All three really good players.
Mike, you guys are 3-3. Some of the players have volunteered comments about possible bowl game. Do you guys talk about bowls at all?
We don't really talk about bowls, but, you know, they're the first time they maybe could utter it and think about it, you know, you're 3 away. So I think that's a good, to me, that's good motivation for them to go out and practice and to understand what's at stake and to keep focusing and keep getting better and remember every little thing matters to push from that. And, you know, I think every college football player aspires to have that happen, and especially if you haven't ever been to one, you really aspire to have it happen. So I look at it as positive. I don't look like if I was looking forward, I look for them with these guys right now. They look at it as motivation to keep helping them stay positive, and they haven't ever had that chance before, really.
Speaking of motivation, I guess it's human nature to want to do better after a guy did what Kadeem Carey did to your defense last year. I spoke to Woodson Greer and I said, what does 366 mean to you? And he said, never again. Do you see that kind of defiant nature in your team, that they're motivated?
I hope so. That would, if I would have been out there playing, I would have been embarrassed and want to redeem myself for sure. So I sure hope they feel that way. I think any competitor would. But it's not about being mad and it's not about being angry. It's about doing the exact right thing. And then when you have your opportunity to hit him, just be mad and angry. But you got to do it. You got to do all the other things first. And you can be mad and say you want to hit him all you want, but if you don't get in the right spot and play the right angle, you're not going to touch him. So you're going to be mad the whole rest of the day. So we've got to make sure we do those things right.
Did they out-scheme them last year?
I don't know if they. No, I wouldn't say they out-schemed them. I mean, I guess if that's the case, he's out-schemed every team in America because he's gained yards every game.
It's 350.
Yeah. He broke a couple big runs. You know, if he breaks a run, I hope he breaks it from the 10, not the opposite 10, inside our 10. You know, no, I think that you just got to play better and understand it. I think the kids understand what he can do if you're not in the right spot. I do think they understand that.
As the year moves on, the games start to become somewhat more significant as far as you don't have as many more. You have a lot of freshmen on the team. How do you feel they're dealing with the pressure right now?
I feel like they're doing well with it. You know, last week was funny. Addison Gilliman had 2 exams and 2 papers, and he had to call, I can't come to this thing Thursday at a night meeting that we have. And I said, okay, then we'll make it up. And because the academic counselors came to me, and he did good. I got the reports back today, and he did good on the test and everything. And then he had to go play in the game. And so Saturday morning, I said, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good now. I'm good now. So they're going through all the rigors of a college student, getting used to it. And that, all those young men that really want to be successful, they want to be successful in every part of their life. And Addison's one of them. So I think all those freshmen are going through that. And I think they enjoy competing, and I think they're enjoying playing. So hopefully they'll be able to keep moving the program.